Welcome back to Inspiredsiren, and today we are doing a speed build. Now, this build is going to be the cottage for Daisy Bloom, who is our Generation 1 of the Legacy Challenge Sims in Bloom. This challenge is from a Sims garden, and some of the graphics that I used in the last video were by Canva Sprite. So I decided to do a speed build today because I kind of want to be in the zone, and I've realized that I enjoy talking while building, but it can kind of feel distracting and it can feel a little bit harder, like a little bit hard work. So I think I might in the future kind of do a combo of speed builds and regular builds. Another aspect of this build is that I'm going to do a series of seasons builds. And so this is going to be for the spring season. It just happens to line up with Daisy Bloom's creation and kind of getting our first legacy challenge started. So grab a snack, grab a drink, and maybe even just kind of have a little zen moment for yourself, so you can just kind of sit back, zone out, watch this video, and yeah, let's get started. So I didn't have too much specific inspiration other than I really wanted there to be some yellow, obviously, because that's one of the main colors of the generation, but I didn't want it to feel overwhelmingly yellow, and I don't think that that's part of the legacy point. I read through the rules, and I don't think it's anything you have to be colored. But we did get some yellow in here, so we included that. And the other thing is that I kind of wanted there to be an accent of light blue. I just think something about daisies, you think about them in a field, and I don't know, in my mind, it's always that light blue, which is maybe the sky mixed in with clouds. So as you can see here, I just immediately knew I wanted to use blue doors, and I really wanted that to be the biggest accent color besides yellow. So it took me a while here to kind of figure out fencing and layout. I had kind of had the house figured out pretty quickly, but then I was unsure about the colors of the roofs. I was unsure about the fencing situation, and so I also, if you my dog just came in here, so if you hear her little shaking collar, she is ancient. She's 1,000,000 years old, and so she kind of has the run of the house. So she's just in here staring at me with her cute little eyes. So it just took me so long. I don't know if it was just this specific build or what, but I couldn't decide. Do I want a fence? Do I want a foundation? Do I want a bigger foundation? Do I want a bigger fence? And so I just really wanted there to be a very specific I wanted this to look like it was in bloom. I did start the build out in the springtime, which I will probably change it back to spring in the game, but at some point I just switched it to the summer season so that I could actually see the flowers and stuff. But yeah, the main layout of the house was solid, and then I was kind of playing around with the fences. I like a lot of the fences in the game, but sometimes they feel a little I don't know, if you use them for too big of a space, it just doesn't feel quite right. Also, these little things on the top of the roofs, I saw in the catalog, and I did a little research, and some people call those roof toupees, which I think is that's just the best thing I've ever heard. I mean, I don't even know what else you would call it, but a roof toupee? It took me a while to figure out how to line them all up, and I still don't think I did it perfectly, but we don't have to be perfect here. We just have to have fun. So at this point, I found this pathway that is petal lined, and I was like, oh, is that too much? So I started trying to play around with it, and then I was like, that's not too much, because I wanted it to feel a little secret garden-y, where there was little paths and little special little places that you can I don't know, kind of discover. And so I think this is the point in which I started doubting my fence decision. And I was like, oh, does it feel like too much? And I also really wanted there to be a little bit of separation, because I knew that part of Generation One's challenge is to have like a garden too. So, but that, I mean, if you've ever tried to play gardening in The Sims, that you know that it's kind of it's a lot to try and keep like real like plants that they can plant and grow. It's just a lot to kind of care and keep them alive. Like, it takes all day. And so I was like, okay, I want it to look like she has a garden that's like massive and growing, but I want there to be like a section that's more, I don't know, for show, like an image, like beautiful, and then one that's maybe more practical. So I kind of started separating out. I'm just like working on all these rocks on this path here. Don't worry, it comes together. Just trust the process. So I am going to read the general rules for the challenge and stuff, so we kind of have an idea of what we're doing here. But so this is my first challenge. Actually, this is my first legacy challenge I've ever done. I've been playing The Sims for a while, but I've never actually done a legacy challenge before. I think I tend to be like one of those people that, like, I have certain families or houses I might play for a generation or two, and then I get bored and I want to just do a different one. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just sometimes I'm like, oh man, I wish I had stuck with that more. So here you see that I did separate out like the more decorative part of the garden from the more quote unquote realistic part of the garden. But anyway, so the legacy, it's called the Sims in Bloom Legacy Challenge. I think I already mentioned that, but the rules are by a Sims garden. I couldn't find like a name or anything. I think that might be the name of the person. So if anybody knows if they have like a more specific name or whatever, let me know. And then I had a couple of cute little graphics by Kimba Spry. I tend to be like a very visual person, so I really like those. They came up on the screen while during my cast, and I think they might make a feature in the future. So there is quite a few required packs here. I think it's like, I don't think it's unreasonable, and a lot of the packs are old, like, I mean, like seasons or pets or whatever, but I think you could, I think actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think that someone actually did create like a base game version of these rules, so you could go look that up. But also you could just use your imagination, because that's what playing games and having fun is about. So the general rules for the challenge is that each generation has to complete a designated aspiration, a career, and skills. There are some optional pieces, but you can like add them if you want the challenge to be a little more difficult, or take them away if you want it to be a little bit easier. And then there are 2 colors associated with every generation. You can use them for genetics or like clothes and house decor. And then the next rule is that you start each generation with a small house and or apartment and 1,000 simoleons. If you want to make the challenge harder, it says you can start each generation with an empty lot and 0 simoleons, like a rags to riches style. Obviously, considering the house I'm building, I didn't do that. This house is really pretty, and I would not say it's a starter house, but I did, here are the roof toupees. Look at them. Okay. But look at them and tell me that those don't actually look like that. It makes sense that those are called toupees, right? Like, that checks out. Also, I love that there was like little bunnies on the top. I thought that was so cute. It also took me forever to decide on a roof shingle. I really, I didn't want to go full thatched roof, but like, I was like, oh, maybe I should. Anyway, in the end, I ended up doing like this little mermaid shingle moment, but it took me a while to figure it out. So you can watch me figure it out while I talk to you. You can play on any lifespan that you want. It says short's not recommended. And they just said, if you decide to play the challenge, at me or use the tag Sims in Bloom. So I'm going to be tagging everything that way. I hope that the person that created this is happy with my challenge. So yeah, so this house is going to be for generation one. Like I said, this is not a starter house, but I didn't make it super extravagant or super, I guess you could say, like, it's not like intensely cluttered or intensely lived in, but I didn't want it to feel like just empty. So I kind of tried to meet myself in the middle. Like I didn't go super overboard with like getting a giant TV or a really nice computer or anything like that kind of stuff. I'm gonna leave for some gameplay. But I did, I created the garden. I got it set up in a way that I think it would make sense for someone to be an adult in this version, right? It's not like this person's starting from being a child. So, oh my gosh! And then here I decided to add a pond. I've never added a pond to a build before, and it was a learning curve, but it turned out so cute. I kind of wish I had a pond in real life, but I also think that ponds usually come with bugs, and that doesn't sound as exciting to me. But yeah, so like you can see me messing around with the pond here. If you've ever played with the like terrain manipulation tools, I would suggest it. It's kind of a fun like way to add a little bit of difference and depth and dimension to your builds. But man, I think this build really helped me kind of try some new things, and I was so proud of myself for what it turned out like. The footage just sped up, but it did take me 2 hours to build this, like real life time. So yeah, this is at the point where I was like, oh man, spring, all of these trees look dead. So I did end up changing it to summer pretty soon after this, but in the game, I think we'll start with spring. I just think it makes sense. But so this house is for, like I said, generation one, which is Daisy. Gardening has always, I already read this for the cast, but I'm going to read it again because I really like it and it makes me happy. So gardening has always been your passion. Owning a large, healthy garden is all you've ever wanted in life. Even if your nails constantly have soil under them and you have so many broken pots you've lost count. Your happy place is meditating in the shade of the fruit trees that you grew yourself from the tiny saplings. You sit and wonder what your family will grow to do and hope that they will flourish just as beautifully as your garden has. This is the start of your family legacy. So, freelance botanist is the occupation that you have to choose, and then the traits you have to use are clumsy, loves the outdoors, cheerful. Obviously, the career is gardener, and then the colors are white and yellow. Now, I know, don't come at me, I know that there isn't like a bunch of white and yellow in this build, but I did try to use it as like some accent colors, and inside I had like quite a few of the walls painted yellow, and I did some yellow in the kitchen. I just didn't want it to go overboard. Like I wanted it to feel real, I think. One of the things that makes me really happy about The Sims is that this is where I changed to spring, and I was like, oh, that looks so much better. It's like I can see the colors of all the plants and whatever. But one thing about playing video games, but like The Sims in general, is just like I don't want to struggle, and I want to feel like it's also kind of like gets to scratch an itch that is real life. And so I didn't want it to look like a cartoon where the entire house was yellow and all the clothes were yellow and like all the flowers were yellow. Like I wanted it to feel like a place that I could escape to. I don't know if anyone's ever been in therapy and you have this, like, you can use this skill that's, I don't know what it's called, but you kind of have a safe place that you imagine. And so sometimes I like to think about my games as something like that, where like this garden, man, if I could just go sit under that tree, or if I could just have like a special moment, I mean, it would feel safe. It would be an escape. And so, was that too deep? I don't know. Listen, I know this is a game, but joy in this world is hard to come by sometimes. And I'm a deep thinker. I'm an emotional person, and I like that about myself. So, I think that's okay. So yeah, so I keep building here. Oh, I did grab fruit trees from the gallery. Now, probably this is just for show, but I do want her to grow her own fruit trees. So I think once I've kind of actually started playing the challenge, I'm going to actually move these trees out, probably. I wanted it to look complete. I don't know if that's breaking the rules, but here's the thing about video games is there's no real rules. So I wanted it to kind of look established, like an established garden. So I might add her own fruit trees when she kind of ends up growing them. I just popped some seed packets here. But also, that's a fun party trick. If there's ever anything you need, most of the time you could find it on the gallery. So you can always just go search something on the gallery, and like other simmers will have like perfect fruit trees, or if you need a specific type of pet treat, like a health pet treat to heal your pets, you need a specific type of flower or whatever. Usually you can get all that stuff on the gallery, which is really cool. I love that. I love games that have community. Okay, so back to the challenge. We've got white and yellow colors. So I've tried to do a little bit of white and yellow accents, especially inside. There's a lot of yellow, which you'll see in a minute here as we've kind of moved inside. It's required to max the skills gardening, fishing, and wellness, which are all skills that I really like. Fishing especially. Fishing is, in my opinion, a pretty good way to make money in The Sims. So that's pretty cool. Someone needs to remind me to make sure that I only have the allotted amount of money when I start playing this generation, but we'll address that when it comes up. Okay, and so then the rules for this generation are you live on a lot with the challenge Simple Living, which this lot happens to come with that, but if you need to, you can go up to the top left on the screen here where it says Cordelia's Secret Cottage. You can choose kind of different challenges or different lot traits, and one of them is Simple Living, which basically means that your Sims have to kind of have food stocked, like they have to either grow it or they have to order it or whatever. You can't just like poof create food from nothing. You have to grow a cow plant and keep it alive for as long as you live. If it dies, immediately plant a new one. I've never had a cow plant. I honestly don't even know how you go about getting one in this game. So that will be a learning opportunity for everyone. Also, if you can hear my dog clacking around, I need to cut her nails. But it's just she's old and she just wanders sometimes, but she's happy. You have to grow 5 perfect plants. So I did put some seed packets out, so we'll start with those. And you have to marry a Sim who has the loves outdoors trait. And then the asterisk ones are the ones where it's not required, but it would be nice. And so for that one, you have the option of gaining the outdoorsy lifestyle and growing a death flower. I think I've gotten the outdoorsy lifestyle. I don't think that's too hard to get. Like, I think if you just go outside a lot, you kind of get it. But growing a death flower, I think that might be hard. I don't even, again, just like the cow plant, I don't even know how you go about that. So we will, when the time comes to figure that stuff out, we will see if we can figure it out. But I'm not going to stress too much. I'm going to use this challenge as a good inspiration. I looked at a bunch of challenges and I don't know if it's because it's spring right now and it felt like it fit, or I mean, I love flowers in general and I am not opposed to having flowers around all the time. So I don't know if that's what spoke to me. I don't know. This challenge just seemed really fun and I wanted to give it a go, but I don't want it to be stressful, and I can easily stress myself out because, you know, I'm a millennial and I have anxiety, but so I'm not going to hold myself intensely to the challenges anyway. I'm going to use them as an inspiration, and I think that's okay. So yeah, so we've kind of started decorating the inside here. We got that little half bath. Um, and I really like this cottage living bed. I wasn't totally sure how to make the space work, but I felt like it was okay. If it's leaning, just so you know in the future, if you have a bed that's leaning against the wall in The Sims, you can still use it for two people. You just have to have one person get in and then scoot over to the side first. And then I think they're kind of trapped until the other person gets up, but it is possible. So I was kind of playing around with that, but I love this bed. I thought it was really cute. With the little flowers on it. And I know it's not yellow or white, okay, but I really liked the blue color. I thought it complemented a lot of stuff. And something about that bed was really quaint. I just thought it was so cute. So yeah, so then I added a second bathroom. The layout was a little bit hard. I'm hoping that like long term it will be okay. The way I've laid things out, I might have to change things in the future, but I wanted there for sure to be one main bathroom, which is this one, and then I just had popped a half bath because I thought it would make sense over there. So I have the one main bathroom, one half bath, and then I really wanted there to be two bedrooms because at some point I know you have to have like a child because that's how you continue your legacy. And so I did end up adding a bedroom, but I didn't like furnish it or anything. I think I put some flowers in it, or maybe some pictures on the wall, I think. But I'm kind of going to, use it as the challenge goes on. I'm not sure if I'm going to need an office or if there's going to be like a kid room or a baby room or something. And so I did my best to kind of not make this house outrageously large. I felt like kind of the simple living, the cottage aspect, I wanted to honor that, and also I wanted to make it kind of future-proof because I didn't want to have to build again until the next generation. So I am hoping that there will be enough room to actually like for it to live functionally. On occasion, smaller spaces are harder for Sims to navigate, but oh my gosh, I really loved this part with this little nook. That couch is so cute with that teal, and then I got the little mushroom stool. I just thought that was so cute. Like, I would love a little nook where you just got like, you have a big window to look at. A window seat is my dream. I hope at some point in my life I can have a window seat, but it's not happened yet, but that doesn't mean it won't happen in the future. So I just thought that would be really cute. I could have like this little entry nook where she can read, where also that bunny, did you see that bunny? It was so cute. I was just pulling out some clutter here, but that little yellow mushroom stool, I think if I saw a yellow mushroom in real life, I would be stressed out, but it's so cute and it matches the style really well. So don't come at me, don't eat poison mushrooms, but I just felt like it was really cute. So also this sculpture, I'm trying to branch out. I usually put that sun sculpture above toilets, but I'm going to branch out. I'm going to be different. Some gardening tools out. I forgot to mention this build does use multiple packs, but it's only the packs that are part of the challenge. And so if you're like playing along, you are welcome to download or play with any of these houses or Sims that I create. They all follow the rules, so I don't have any extra packs in there. I haven't used any custom content. So it should be fairly easy for you to follow along if you want to. And I think that if you didn't have some of the packs that are part of the game, like you can still use these lots and it will either like auto-populate a similar object or it just will be like something will be missing and you just have to use something else, which is totally cool. But yeah, I was trying to fit a small living room in here. I wanted there to be enough space for some lounging and some reading. It's a little bit cramped, but I actually think it turned out pretty cute. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I would actually really like to live in this house. But this little area was a little bit hard to navigate kind of size-wise. Um, I'm not gonna lie, I did not fully play test it. Mostly because it took me 2 hours to build it, and at the end of that, I was hungry and tired, and I just wanted to like chill. But I mean, we will all be playtesting it together while we play through the game, so you'll see if something gets really messed up. But I'm sorry if my imperfection stresses you out. Like, please don't download this if you're stressed by me not playtesting it. Um, I just wanted to have fun, so. These yellow cabinets, I am obsessed. Does anyone else use The Sims for inspiration for real life? Because this made me think, ooh, do I want yellow cabinets? Because that might be kind of cool. I have beige I guess they're kind of cream cabinets in my kitchen, but man, when you make things in The Sims and use colors, it all looks really beautiful. And so it kind of makes me want to try that a little bit. So I don't know. If you have colorful cabinets in your house and you like them, leave me a comment because I don't have anything like that. And I would like to know if it works in real life or if it only works in The Sims. So hit me up down below. Also, thank you to everybody who has been liking and subscribing. I really appreciate it. I did want to give a shout out. I got another comment. Oh gosh, now I have to find it. It was on one of my other videos, my Star Staple video. Let's see. Okay, here it is. So I got a comment from the horsetuber _100 that said they would love more Star Stable videos and they hope that I do that, and they're really nice videos. I really appreciate everybody that has been engaging with these videos. I hope they're bringing you joy the same way they are bringing me joy. I was a little bit embarrassed, honestly. Oh, here's the completed build. So this is the total exterior. I was a little embarrassed to start doing this and like putting myself out there, but my friends have been really supportive. My family has been supportive. So I really encourage you to, if you want to do something fun and creative, and you're a little shy, like do it. Like you got this. Thank you for all the support. Here is the final build. We got our bathrooms, we've got our little living area, we've got a cute little Eden nook, our yellow kitchen, our beautiful garden. I will be starting this legacy, and I would love if you would come play along with me. Like I said, if you want to do something like this, dude, freaking go for it. You can do this. It's so fun. It's been really rewarding to allow myself to be creative. And I think you should do it too. So subscribe, leave me a comment. This will be up on the gallery under Daisy Bloom Cottage. My gallery ID is Inspiredsiren, and I am so excited to start this playthrough. I hope you will join me. And kind of come get inspired, come have a good time. Please let me know if you liked the speed build, if it felt fun for you to watch still. And yeah, get on the Sims and Bloom Legacy. I think it will be really fun. And I will see you all next time. Have a great day. Bye.